Hello, it is I, your boy Gomi, and we are back looking at our UFC card, this time a UFC pay-per-view. We are looking at UFC 307, Alex Pereira taking on Khalil Rountree, bizarre one. And once again, it's in frickin' Salt Lake City. Why do we keep going back to Salt Lake City? I'll never know. It kind of dampers my excitement on these cards, because every time we go to Salt Lake City, there's always some fight on there that should be way better and ends up being kind of mid due to the unfortunate gassing issues. But I digress. Once again, we're going back to Salt Lake City. Cool. Now then, let's get a look at this card, because I actually think it's an okay card. It's okay. I know it's a little, there's a few fights on here that seems kind of haphazardly put together, unfortunately, but it's still decent. Not decent is what's headlining it, which is Tim Means versus Court McGee. Yeah, this is a fight that man, it's two old guys. Tim Means, old. Court McGee, also old. Tim Mean, he can land some power shots, but a lot of his skill and also his chin is dissipated. I mean, he's in the double digits for losses. He's been knocked out 3 times, submitted 7 times. He's 40. There's not much tread left on these tires. Simple as that. And Court McGee, how do you have no knockouts in the UFC? Like, he has power, he drops people, but he's got no UFC knockouts. Like, what is that? That's so weird. But yeah, oh well. This is a really hard one. This is one that I don't recommend you bet on under any circumstances. Picking it, I'm haphazardly picking a Means decision, but like, do you really want to? I don't know. I just don't like this fight. This fight sucks. Wow, Carla Esparza versus Tisha Pennington. I'm not surprised this fight is this low in the card, but I am kind of surprised because at the end of the day, as she's part of one of the worst, in my opinion, the worst UFC fight of all time. Then again, I saw it live, so that's why. But her fight against Rose Namajunas was really bad, but this is a retirement fight, and they shoved her as a second fight on the card. I think actually one fight snuck in. Oh, no, maybe not. But yeah, this is not... Nah. And I kind of also, I think it'll be a little bit of a scrap, possibly. Like I said, I'm not the hugest fan of Carla Esparza, really, because of that. But at the end of the day, she is a solid fighter. Good clinches. She can mix up the striking and grappling. She can be decent. Tisha Pennington, on the other hand, she's a little too basic for women's MMA fighters. Really, it's a little bit more point fighty. Her grappling can be pretty okay when she grapples, but she doesn't do it often. That's the problem. Believe it or not, her grappling's not bad. Yeah, most of these two are win by decision. Simple as that. Both have 11 decisions. Yeah, that's women's MMA for you, unfortunately. I don't know, not a huge fan of this fight. I want to lean actually towards the veteran in terms of Esparza. I know usually people who retire don't go out on top, but she just lost to Zhang Weili, and before that, she was on a massive win streak. Pennington, on the other hand, I don't think is the person to beat Esparza on a 2-fight losing streak. Oh, I didn't look at the odds for the last fight in this fight. I gotta get better at that. Tim Means is a 2-1 favorite. I just don't agree with, like, I picked Tim Means, but don't put that much money on him. And Pennington's a favorite. I like the dog in this. I don't know if I'd bet it, but I think it's a safe one. I think Esparza probably gets it done, honestly, by decision. So Ryan Spann versus OSP. Screw this fight. Both guys kind of suck. I'm sorry. I know Ryan Spann has a win over Dominic Reyes, which, like, that's so surprising, but he's on a 3-fight losing streak, and Spann is getting his ass kicked. One person I just brought up was Anthony Smith. I don't know. Span has negative fight IQ. He fights very reckless. I just don't think he's that good. OSP was decent back in the day, back when he was challenging for the title, but even then, I don't know if I really think he should have gotten the title shot, to be perfectly honest with you. I think but the thing is, OSP, like, he should not have won that fight against Kenny Nchukwu. Kenny Nchukwu, something is wrong with that boy. Something was wrong with him, or maybe it's because he saw it was gone. But that was the best OSP has looked in years, and I don't know. Give me Ryan Spann, but you'll be damned if you think I'm going to be betting on this fight. I just don't see much value, just due to how haphazardly each of these guys are this late in their career. It's scary to be picking a fight like this. But yeah, so give me Spann to get it done. Do I think it's gonna be a finish? I didn't even write. I wrote Spann, I guess. So give me Spann, I guess. I'm not picking a method. Screw you. And now we're going on to the next fight, which is another fight of the one guy is pretty solid, Cesar Almeida, and an Ihor Potieria. Ooh. Okay. Cesar Almeida, he is the far better kickboxer. He is a very accomplished kickboxer, and his striking is deadly. Ihor Potieria, he's wild, reckless. He's not as bad as I thought, and a lot of people make him out to be. Like, I know Michel Pereira destroyed him, but Michel Pereira destroys most people. And I know he got destroyed by Carlos Ulberg, but Carlos Ulberg destroys most people. I just ultimately don't think he's that bad, but I do think he's going to lose this fight. Cesar Almeida, I think, has just way more tools overall. One of the things is just the speed and technicality of him. I think he'll be more accurate. I think he'll make Potieria miss. I think Potieria will be a little bit too wild and reckless. I think Cesar Almeida will get done by it. I'll go TKO. I think it's safe to go TKO. He's got power. I don't know if I say he has power, but his skill leads to some good knockouts. So give me Cesar Almeida. Austin Hubbard versus Alexander Hernandez. My God, what a fall from grace you have had, Alexander Hernandez. I remember when he was the next big thing back when he was fighting, was it Cowboy? It was Cowboy, right? Yeah, when he was fighting Cowboy. And then he just got absolutely schooled. I'm gonna be going with Austin Hubbard in this one. The main thing is Alexander Hernandez, he gasses. That's always been a problem. He runs out of steam. And guess what? It's in Salt Lake City. And guess what? He's on short notice. That trifecta just leads me to go Austin Hubbard's gonna win. And Austin Hubbard too is a cardio machine. He doesn't have a ton of power, but like, he has tons of volume. I could see Austin Hubbard getting a finish, honestly, and just due to a gassed Alexander Hernandez. I'm going to lean towards Hubbard decision. That's going to be my pick, but I'm definitely picking. I think that's just the better overall pick. By the way, odds for OSP Spann. Spann is a favorite, minus 270. Fuck that. Oh, Jesus, man. This next one is I don't know how I feel about the odds in this one. Alexander Hernandez is a minus 205 favorite, where I'm seeing most books minus 200. Yeah, get that out of my face. I'm going Austin Hubbard all day long. Mariana Rodriguez versus Yasmin Lucindo. This should be a pretty decent fight, actually. This one should be a decent one. Marina Rodriguez, she is a little bit of a brawler. I know she's coming off that loss to Jessica Andrade, but again, she made it a little bit of a brawl. I will say, though, I do think the fight ended up being as mid as I kind of wished it wasn't, but she can put on some solid performances. She can. Yasmin Lucindo, though, she's pretty good overall. I like her. I think she's got really good power. I think she's got some good submission ability. I think she's just solid all around. In the UFC level so far, she hasn't really been knocking people out, to be honest with you, when she was doing it on the regional scene and such like that. But I still think overall, she's a good fighter. This should be a very solid matchup. Marina Rodriguez as well, too. I think she could bring a fight. She can make it a little bit of a battle. But this is still a big step up. This is a big step up. Rodriguez has faced a ton of different opponents, and she's a little bit on the older end, but Lucindo also has a lot of great experience as well too, despite being on the younger end, and she mixed up the grappling well. So I'm going to be tentatively going with Marina Rodriguez to get this one done. I think this is one fight I don't know if they're going to go decision, honestly. Marina Rodriguez by decision. And I am taking the dog. She's sitting at minus 145. Interesting. Now on to the headliner of the prelims, and a really good fight. I was gonna say this fight should be on main card, but no. You know what? No, actually, this is a fight we should be getting on prelims for pay-per-views. Like, the Portero Almeida fight's pretty good, but otherwise, like, man, we need to get better fights on prelims for pay-per-views. They don't try as much anymore, and this one's a good fight. It sucks seeing Wonderboy on a pay-per-view, to be honest with you, but on a prelims on a pay-per-view. But like, this is a good fight. Screw that, that's a good fight. So, Wonderboy versus Joaquin Buckley. This is like I said, this is a good one. Joaquin Buckley, he is a very effective, dangerous striker. I mean, look at the Buckley ninja kick. He's got tons of power in him. And recently, he's been able to mix up the grappling against Vicente Luque and Ruziboyev. He was able to really push the grappling, like, pressure and pace, and was able to win those fights because of that. He's got some nasty ground and pound. He's younger and he's explosive, and I do like him at welterweight. I feel like his power might have dissipated a little bit being at welterweight ever since he moved down, but I still think he's just overall very solid fighter. And Wonderboy, you guys know I love Wonderboy. I'm very high on Wonderboy. I don't know why, like, well, I know why. Wonderboy gets a lot of shite because he can't grapple very well. I mean, look what happened against Bilal Muhammad, Gilbert Burns, Shavkat Rakhmonov. But if you stand with him, a la Kevin Holland, Wonderboy is going to break you. He's going to absolutely break you. His takedown defense historically has been pretty good. It's dissipated throughout the years because he went up against Omega level grapplers like Burns and Shavkat and Bilal. But like, when he's like back in the day, like it was hard to get him down. And I stand by it. I don't know if Buckley is the kind of wrestler to take Wonderboy down. And if it's standing, you can't beat Wonderboy. You can't beat Wonderboy standing. I just don't think that's a possibility in this day and age unless you're Anthony Pettis. Like, Kevin Holland had some success, round one specifically, but at the end of the day, Wonderboy butchered him. I don't know. This all depends. Is Buckley going to be good enough grappling-wise to get him down, or is this going to be vintage Wonderboy being able to defend takedowns? And also mix in the striking. Buckley is no sitting duck in the striking realm. The problem that really leans me towards Buckley is the age of Wonderboy. That's the main thing. You know what? I wrote Buckley decision, but I'm going to change it to Wonderboy decision. I don't know. I feel like he still has more for us. I feel like he still has more to show us. Roman Dolidze versus Kevin Holland. No, I didn't. I also like this fight a lot. Kevin Holland, one of the most odds. Read the odds, Gomi. Buckley is a minus 205 favorite. Yep, give me the dog. Roman Dolidze versus Kevin Holland. I like this fight a good bit. Roman Dolidze, he gets a lot of flack for having lukewarm fight IQ, a la the Imavov fight. He's not that good, but I think he could put on some exciting performances. I know his fight against Anthony Smith was really but the thing is, he was coming off the couch off like 4 days notice or something like that, and moving up in weight too. And again, it's on paper Anthony Smith. So I think overall, Roman Dolidze, he could be very good as a grappler. He could put you in some put the opponent in some very dangerous grappling positions, and that could cause a lot of trouble. But Kevin Holland, he's no slouch on the ground. I don't think the fight will go to the ground. I really think both guys are going to keep it standing. Holland, I feel like the activity might be getting to him because he's been fighting questionable lately. He did look really good his last fight. Not his last fight, he looked really good against Michal Oleksiejczuk. He looked really good against him. But against MVP, he looked lost. I felt like the stupidest moron for picking Kevin Holland, thinking, oh, Kevin Holland's going to take out MVP. I was dumb. I was dumb for that. JDM, he looked so hesitant and gun shy. It's weird. He's had some weird performances, some really weird ones. He had some really good ones against Michael Chiesa and Santiago Ponzinibbio, but then he had some really questionable ones against MVP and Jack Della Maddalena. So I don't know. I think Kevin Holland should get it done. I don't think he'll be getting a finish or a submission. Main reason is Roman Dolidze is too tough. I think submission-wise, Roman Dolidze is more likely for it, but I think Roman Dolidze, he gets people in these positions for submissions and stuff like that, but he ends up going for ground and pound. Look at the Jack Hermanson one where he had him in the meanest calf slicer and ended up being TKO because he just started punching him in the head. So I'm going to be tentatively going Holland to get it done by decision because I don't see either guy getting finished, to be perfectly honest with you. Holland, how many times has Holland been knocked out? Only by Wonderboy, right? Yeah, only by Wonderboy. Otherwise, he's been submitted quite a few times, so that is a likelihood. If anything's going to be on the finish end, I'd say Roman Dolidze by submission. But, well, let's look at the odds. Kevin Holland's a minus 155 favorite. Roman Dolidze minus 130. So, slight favorite for Holland. I agree with that. I like it. So, give me Holland decision. Ketlen Vieira versus Kayla Harrison. I'm going to be honest, y'all, guys. This is a much better fight than... this is a much better women's bantamweight fight than the co-main event. I'm sorry to say. Ketlen Vieira, she overall I think is a solid fighter. I think she doesn't let her hands go as much as I feel she should. I feel like she has had some power and shown it in some of her fights, like against Kyanzad and Home. But, like, I feel like she could let it go more. I feel like she could really throw more. But the thing is, she's so hesitant, gun-shy, she leads to decision. She could be a better fighter. Kayla Harrison, on the other hand, is much more of a finisher. She's something that the women's bantamweight division really needs, suffice to say. And I think the women's bantamweight division is much better now that she's here. And I think overall, she's just excellent fighter. Her grappling is really on point. She's got tons of ground and pound power, and just seeing the fact that she's able to submit Home, which I believe I said I picked Kayla Harrison to win, but I was like, I don't think she's submitting Holly Holm. I don't see that happening, and she ended up doing it. Was just very impressive to me. So I really am leaning towards Kayla Harrison. I think this should be more fun of a fight than we expected because I feel Kayla is going to be the one to really like push Ketlen Vieira to not be as point fighty she normally is. But I still definitely think Kayla Harrison is going to be the one to take this fight. I think she's going to do it by because that's hard because Ketlen Vieira is hard to finish. She's only been knocked out once. Many people even attempt submissions on her. I'm going to tentatively go Kayla Harrison by KO. Kayla Harrison by KO. Might blow up in my face, egg in the face, and be a decision. But I don't know. I'm gonna have faith in the power of Kayla Harrison and her grappling ability. Get some nice ground and pound. And on to, oh, you bet I got a slide for this, baby. We have Jose Aldo, the legend, going up against Mario Batista. By the way, this fight kept getting bounced to and from prelims and main card, prelims, main card. Like, they had Aljo versus Mozavar on the main card. I'm sorry, but I'd much rather any day of the week watch a Jose Aldo fight. I love Jose Aldo. I think he's super underrated because the main thing is Jose Aldo and his age should not be going up against top guys. He really shouldn't. In his age, he should be getting decimated and left on the side of the road. And especially for some of the beatdowns he's taken. He's taken some vicious beatdowns from guys and he's still kicking. And Mario Batista's no slouch either. This is a good fight. This is a really, really good fight. I love this matchup. So, the legend Jose Aldo, he's going to be 38 years of age, very old for MMA. He has 32 wins, 8 losses, 17 knockouts, 1 submission, which always surprises me every time I see it. By the way, 17 knockouts, 14 decisions. My God, like, he fights. Jose Aldo, what happened to the days where you'd have UFC fighters like with 30 and whatever records? Everyone's like in the teens and 20s and whatever. Oh well, regardless, I digress. He's going to be 5'7" in terms of height, orthodox stance, 70-inch reach advantage, a 0.51 takedown average, a 50.68% significant strike accuracy, plus 145 underdog. Significant wins over Jonathan Martinez, Rob Font, Pedro Munoz, and Chito Vera. But make no freaking mistake. Oh boy, he's got more wins than just that. He's got more wins than just that. Those are just the ones I'm bringing up. He beat Money Moicano, Jeremy Stevens, Frankie Edgar. Who else he beat? Mendez, right? Oh yeah, he beat Mendez multiple times. Ricardo Lamas, crazy on me. He beat Edgar multiple times. Uriah Faber. I could just go on about how good his resume is and how good he is as a fighter. Especially the main reason I also really feel like a lot of people underrate Jose Aldo is they didn't watch WEC. They didn't. Like, if you didn't watch WAC, your opinion of Aldo is really going to be stemming from his beatdowns at Conor McGregor, Holloway, and Jan. But he's good. Okay, I digress. Mario Batista is going to be 31 years of age, 14 wins, 2 losses, 3 knockouts, 6 submissions, 5'9" in terms of height, switch stance, 69-inch reach disadvantage, a 2.25 takedown average, a 54.92% significant strike accuracy, minus 175 favorite, with significant wins with Ricky Simone and Damon Blackshear. Damon Blackshear is so 50-50. Ricky Simone is just not that good. His wins don't compare to Jose Aldo. And the fact that he's a favorite, man, you guys are really... I can see why. He's on a good streak, and it is an elevation. We saw how Aldo performed in elevation at Salt Lake City. I audibly, when I saw his fight announced, I said out loud, why the fuck is it in out? Why did you put Aldo in elevation again? Why did you do that? Do you want him to not succeed? Also, like, why isn't he getting like a title shot or something? I don't know. He should get a title shot after this, in all honesty. After Umar and Merab, I would want to see Aldo get a title shot or an O'Malley fight. Ooh, O'Malley versus freaking Aldo would be sick. Why isn't he fighting Cejudo or something, dude? What are these matchups? Jose Aldo versus Mario Batista. I'm sorry, Batista's a decent fighter. This will be a good fight. But Aldo should get something more. He should be getting something bigger, man. But yeah, all right. Enough talking about Aldo. I gotta say why Batista is dangerous. Overall, he's dangerous because his striking is very competent. He has good kicks, good low kicks. I think he can do some serious damage. The only thing is he's really heavily reliant on his ability to like get submissions and stuff like that. I feel that can pose problems, to be perfectly honest with you. But the thing is, Jose Aldo historically has amazing takedown defense, and even as worse in elevation, he stopped every single takedown from Merab Dvalishvili. Merab went 0 for 16. He had to resort to clinching, which Mario Batista can do. Mario Batista can just clinch the living life out of him, and you're like, Aldo will just be stuck up against the fence. That is a possibility. I don't think it will happen. I think Jose Aldo will just have vintage Jose Aldo. His power is dissipated in the years, which makes sense. He went down the bantamweight, but his boxing ability and technical skills are much better. He's got away from the kicks, which could be a problem, but Batista would want to grab those kicks anyway, so I don't know. I think Batista's going to heavily rely on his grappling ability, and I think Aldo will neutralize it. Aldo loses is because Batista just kept getting him up against the fence. Aldo wins, it's just going to be a decision and just hectic, non-stop body work. His body work is so good. His boxing is so good. I would like to see the kicks come back, but maybe this isn't the fight to do it. So give me Jose Aldo to get it done on a decision win. I'm going to be brief about this fight. This fight's not good. This fight's not good. Raquel Pennington versus Juliana Pena for the bantamweight title. Raquel Pennington's going to be 36 years old. 16 wins, 9 losses, 1 knockout, one fucking knockout, 1 knockout. She has 1 knockout, 4 submissions, 5'7" in terms of height, switch stance, 67.5-inch reach, disadvantage, a 0.90 takedown average, a 60.24% significant strike accuracy, minus 180 favorite. Significance over Myra Buena Silva, Ketlin Vieira, and Aspen Ladd. The fact that I had to bring Aspen Ladd into here is just indicative of the level of skill fighters we're talking about for the belt. Joanna Pena is going to be 35 years of age, 12 wins, 5 losses, 3 knockouts, 6 submissions, 5'6" in terms of height, orthodox stance, reach, advantage of 69 inches, a 1.94 takedown average, a 65% on the dot significant strike accuracy, and she's going to have be a plus 150 underdog. Significant wins over Amanda Nunes and Sarah McMahon. Yeah, so Joanna Pena's last fight was her rematch against Amanda Nunes, which she basically got curb stomped. Really posed no challenge to Amanda Nunes at all. That was a horrible beatdown. Great fight to watch, actually, but horrible beatdown. Joanna Pena is sloppy. She's very sloppy. She comes in there just throwing recklessly, like haymakers and straights, and just like there's no rhyme or reason behind what she's throwing most of the time, and that leads her to just get caught in entries. Now, Raquel Pennington has excellent boxing technique and skill, but like she ain't a knockout artist. Simple as that. She is not knocking anybody out. She has almost no power. She not even, why you gonna say that? Actually, Rocky has power. She does. The problem is she has no interest in utilizing it. She doesn't. Oh man, I really want to just stress to you that she can go for it more. I've seen her hurt Mayra Bueno Silva. I've seen her hurt other fighters, but she just doesn't. Oh, she just wants to play safe way out. I'm not a fan of it. Not a fan of it. Not a fan of Julia Pena. I'm gonna have to go with Rocky. I'm sorry, but I just don't pick people of inactivity, and I don't think, again, Julia Pena is that good. When she beat Nunes, she's on a 1-fight win streak. Yeah, so give me Raquel Pennington to get this done by, of course, a decision. And on to the main event of the evening. Alex Pereira, the most active goddamn champion we've had, exceeding Izzy's activity. By the way, him and Kevin Holland are the most active fighters in UFC currently. As a statistic, by the way. I didn't say the full statistic because I don't remember it, but statistically they are the most active. But yes, take on Khalil Rountree Jr. Don't get me wrong. This fight's going to be violent. I like it. I like this fight. Shouldn't be this fight. It literally should be Magomed Ankalaev, and Khalil should be fighting Alexander Rakic. That's just poor matchmaking. I'm sorry. Because while I do like Khalil Rountree quite a lot, I've not seen enough for him to say he's on Alex Pereira's level. I'll go over why in a second. Alex Pereira is going to be 37 years old. Man, he's old, but then again, heavyweights can age well. 11 wow, such a baby record too. 11 wins, 2 losses, 9 knockouts. Gee, a submission from Poatan. He did just get his black belt, but still. He is 6'4" in terms of height. Orthodox stance, 79-inch reach. That orthodox stance, every day I think it's a lie. He has a 0.17 takedown average, a 69.96 significant strike accuracy. Jesus Christ, it's more accurate I thought. A minus 575 favorite for him. Significant wins over Yuri Prochazka, Jamal Hill, Jan Blachowicz, and Israel Adesanya. Technically 3 times. But I just wrote 1 because 1 in MMA, but he beat him 3 times. Khalil Rountree Jr. is going to be 34 years of age, 14 wins, 10 knockouts. I've skipped his losses, 5 losses. 10 knockouts, not a damn submission to his name. 6'1" in terms of height, southpaw stance, 76.5-inch reach disadvantage. Not a takedown to his name, 43% significant strike accuracy. Plus 385 underdog, significant wins over Anthony Smith. I had to fucking put it. Chris Daukaus and Dustin Jacoby. He basically lost, but still. I love Rountree. I really do. I love Rountree violence. I really do. Rountree is behind Yuri Prochazka, probably behind Yuri Prochazka and Jan Blachowicz. He's probably my favorite fighter in the light heavyweight division. Sucks being a Serbian, not being able to root for a fellow Serbian in terms of Rakic, but well, I like Khalil Rountree a lot, and I love to see him get this belt, and I love to see him fight Alex Pereira. But the thing is, at the level we've seen from Khalil Rountree Jr., I see no way Alex Pereira doesn't just knock him out in the first round. It's probably going to go very similar to the Jamal Hill and Yuri Prochazka fights. Man, Jan Blachowicz took this man to a decision. Wow. But yeah. Oh, wait. I know why. Because there's an elevation. They both gassed out. But yes, Khalil Rountree Jr., no. A lot of people are saying Khalil's got to shoot for takedowns. You got to shoot for takedowns. Well, I have the statistic right in front of you. He's not shot a goddamn takedown in his career. He's not shooting takedowns. It's going to be a standing matchup. And Khalil can be open at times. He's brutal. He's violent. But so is Pereira, and Pereira's been doing it at a higher level. I know Khalil Rountree is, what, 3-0 against Glory Kickboxers? Well, every record's got a break. Simple as that. And I think Alex Pereira is just too deadly. His main weapon is his left hook. And guess what? Go back and watch his fight against Anthony Smith. The one shot that tagged him by Anthony Smith was a check left hook. Alex Pereira's check left hook is going to be there for days. That's something that Khalil struggles with. It's never been a problem, but he's never been seriously hurt from it. Because nobody's hit him with a power left hook. Alex Pereira's check left hook is his power shot. That's why I say his orthodox stance is a lie. That boy is a lefty. Or he puts rocks in his left glove. And then the thing is, I've seen Alex Pereira get away from the head kicks. That's also something that could be a great weapon against Khalil Rountree. He went back to against Yuri Prohaska, and I know it surprised a lot of people. It surprised me because go back and watch his UFC career. He was only throwing the left high kick against Izzy in the first fight, and Izzy just slightly moved out for them. Since that, he has gone away from them. He still has his deadly low kicks, which if Khalil comes out with his Muay Thai stance, his legs are going to get eaten up. He could do some good push kicks, and he can hurt Alex Pereira's legs. He's nasty with those knee stomps. He could definitely hurt Alex Pereira. He could land some damage. It's not like Alex is some unbeatable, unstoppable god. We've seen him hurt plenty of times against Jan Bohovic, and we saw him hurt plenty of times in the first Yuri fight. But the thing is, he's getting better and learning, because since that, Hill didn't touch him at all. Yuri in the second fight didn't touch him at all. You can say it's short notice, but so I'm going to be straight with you guys. I think we're just going to see a highlight reel KO for Alex Pereira. And the only thing Khalil could get done is a magical, oh my god, high kick that we see in these cards in Salt Lake City. We saw the underdog in the main event win last year with Justin Gaethje with the high kick KO, which he never uses. We then saw Leon Edwards beat Kamaru Usman to get the belt 2 years ago, Salt Lake City. Who knows? We could see that again. But for the people picking Khalil, that's what you're picking. From what we've seen on paper, ability-wise, Alex is just the better fighter. Simple as that. He has the better skills and abilities currently right now at this moment. But yeah, overall, I think it should be a fun fight for how long it lasts. But give me Alex Pereira to get it done by KO. Also, don't bet it because minus 575. We have to see when the props come out. Maybe it's good inside the distance, but I doubt it. But yep, that is going to be it for UFC 307. By the way, that poster fucking sucks because I don't know if you know this. I don't know if you've noticed this. I don't know if you've noticed this. Rocky is just the PNG. That's just her normal PNG that you can just Google. But yep, this has been your boy Gomi. Bye bye.